my channel. Thank you so much for being here today with me. So I went ahead and created this eye look right here for you all. It is a no liner look. I had a friend of mine ask me to do a no liner look, so that's why I went ahead and created this look right here. It's actually super easy to create. Quite a few steps, but essentially it's actually really easy to create. And this eye look is specifically is really complimentary for brown eyes. It's really gonna make your brown eyes pop. But I mean, you can still use the same method you can apply the same method to any kind of combination of colors, especially ones that would be most suited for your eye color. But in general, the eye look is actually really a beautiful ever for pretty much all eye colors. I mean, it's just brown eyes especially, it's just gonna make yours pop. Well, a little extra zhuzh, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you learned something different, something new. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and also don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. Alright, so jumping right in, the first eyeshadow that I'm using is this really old Make Forever eyeshadow. If you are familiar with the MAC eyeshadows, this is very similar to MAC's Soft Brown, but just actually a little bit more cool tone than MAC's. It's a really great transition color, which is I'm using a Morphe M441 to go ahead and initially apply it. Oh my god. And you're also going to see me going back and forth with the M441 as well as the Sigma E40. I'm really picky when it comes to my transition color, and I really like it to be nice and blended, which is why I'll typically be going with two different brushes, one for the initial application and then one to just further help it blend it nice and beautiful. And then I'm mixing these two colors, which are Anastasia's Caramel as well as MAC's Saddle single eyeshadows, and I'm applying it again with that same Morphe M441 just to give ourselves a little bit more dimension as well as a little bit more warmth to this eye look. As you can see, I'm slowly going in with the eyeshadow, slowly building it up, as well as going back and forth again with that Morphe brush as well as the Sigma brush, just to make sure everything's nice and beautifully blended. And this again is another really old Make It Forever eyeshadow. Don't kill me, but I swear I don't have anything like this in my collection, which is why I'm using it. And then for that color, I'm using a Sigma E25. It's a little bit more shorter, more denser. It's really going to help pack that color. I'm focusing it in on the outer crease and then using the M441 to blend it in with our other eyeshadows. And then I'm also going to go ahead and apply it in our inner corner since we are going for a halo look today. You're going to see me slowly continue building up that intensity that I want. That's pretty much really the key to everything. Is if you really want your eyeshadows to be nice and just seamlessly blended in together, it's all just about slowly building up that intensity, not going in with a lot of eyeshadow and just going back and forth with your brushes. I mean, really I'm only using about just 3 brushes, and I'm going back and forth with all of them, just slowly blending it all out together. And then next I'm taking Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek, and I'm mainly going to use this to add a little bit more warmth. This eye look was starting to look a little too cool tone for me, which is why I went in with the Cocoa Bear. And I'm again using the Morphe M441 and going back and forth with a fluffy brush to blend it all out. And this gorgeous color is Anastasia's Pink Champagne. So pretty. And I didn't want to risk having any fallout, so I actually just went ahead and used my ring finger to apply this. And honestly, I loved it so much. I don't know why I never used my fingers to apply my eyeshadows. It's never looked this good, and I've never gotten such a little fallout from just using my fingers. So I think I'm definitely going to be doing this more often. And then on top of that, I didn't show it, but I also applied a little bit of MAC's Vanilla Pigment just to give ourselves a little bit more extra shine. And then here I'm taking Anastasia's Smoke as well as MAC's Sketch eyeshadow, and I'm going to again use this to intensify the outer and inner corners. I'm using the Morphe MB18 my favorite detail brush, and I'm going back and forth with the that same brush as well as the E25, just to, again, just keep it all nice and beautifully blended in together. That is just what's key, is if you notice, if you just keep going back and forth with the brushes, utilizing your eyeshadows little by little, you're going to see you get the best blending. And then, of course, my favorite eyebrow bone highlight of life, which is the Mary Luminizer by The Balm. And then I'm going in and using that same detail brush to smoke out my lower lash line. Again, not really using any specific order. I mean, I typically like to use the lighter colors and then gradually use the darker colors like the smoke and the sketch eyeshadow. But again, I mean, I don't really have any kind of order. You could definitely go more smokier, but I was pretty happy with how it was now. And then I just went ahead and applied my lashes and mascara, and that pretty much completes the look. I told you guys it was really, really easy. And so just go ahead and moving on to the face, I'm using my current favorite blush, which is the Wet n Wild Mellow Wine. I didn't show it just because I forgot to do a product shot of it, but I'm using the, again, Wet n Wild Mellow Wine blush. Such a pretty blush. And then for highlight, I'm using the one that I'm holding in my hands, which is the Becca Opal highlighter. And then to top it off, I'm using Mary Luminizer by The Balm just to get a little bit extra shine. And then for lips, I'm using MAC Whirl Lip Liner, again, my favorite. And then on top of that, I'm going to be using MAC's Hug Me lipstick just to kind of nude it out just a little bit. Really wanted kind of like a muted or natural pink lip for this eye to match with this eye look. And that completes the entire face. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye!